Hello guys, welcome back to Chris Poly channel. This video I want to share about Global App update for 6 May 2022 maintenance update. But be noticed, all content on this Global App video was recorded on Global App server. So this is all content that will update on our live server in future. And mostly all this update will implement on Korea live server for next maintenance update. And following outside Korea server, if they already feel this content already ready to release outside Korea server globally. Okay, to enjoy watch my video, make sure you turn on this video subtitle, and also you can use timestamp that I already provide to go to target topic that you want. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on bell notification to get any update and guide on Black Desert World. Okay, let's start this video content using any feature that I provide. Okay, this is official website for Global App update at 6 May 2022. First feature update from this Global App update about class balancing. They just make some class balancing for Warrior, Ranger, Sorcerer, Berserker, Tamer, Musa, Ninja, Witch and Wizard, Dark Knight, Mystic, Assassin, Nova, Corsair, and Dracania. But for Warrior, they just fix some issue. For some skill, there are no buff or nerf from this Warrior class. And same for Ranger, they just fix some skill description to become more detailed to inform, but Ranger didn't have any chance for nerf or buff for their skill. And for Sorcerer's class, also didn't have any nerf or buff from their skill, they just fix some issue. And for Berserker, they just buff some skill to become give more damage than before, but for another skill, I think this is just fix some issue. And for Tamer class, there are so many changes for her skill, like her Awakening skill, Legendary Beast Dance. They will spare it its combination for this skill to become have independent cooldown depend on combination that your Tamer unleash. And be noticed for this icon skill, Legendary Beast Dance will be changed in future. And because of this change, this Legendary Beast Dance for Tamer Awakening skill will become spared to become for new skill. Because previously this Legendary Beast Dance skill you can unleash for different skill, either Vermilion Bird attack, Black Turtle attack, Azure Dragon attack, and White Dragon attack. They will spare it for this combination to become for new skill for Tamer Awakening. And each of this new skill will have different icon. And as you can see, if I check Tamer class on Global App server, this Tamer class Awakening skill tree will become like this for this Legendary Beast Dance. They just spared this skill to become 4 skill, but until this Global App release, this Legendary Beast Dance skill just number from 1 until 4. And they still working to change this skill icon and this skill name in future before release it on our live server. And for more detail for each skill, you can check on this video description. I already put link for this translated website in this video description. You can check it for more detail. But for another Tamer skill, I think they just fix some issue for another skill. And next for Musa class, they just reduce stamina requirement when using some skill for Musa class. And also for Musa class, they just buff some skill damage to become higher than before, but this is for PvE only, because they also increase PvP damage reduction for this skill, so PvP damage will same as before. And also they just fix another skill for this Musa class. And next for Ninja class, they also just improve some skill for Ninja class, but I didn't see any nerf or buff for his skill damage. And for Witch and Wizard, they just fix some skill for Witch and Wizard skill, but there are no nerf or buff for Witch and Wizard. Okay, next for Dark Knight class, they just change skill animation for Dark Knight class, especially for Soul Snatch skill. And they also buff some skill damage, but for PvE only, because they also increase PvP damage reduction for this skill. And also they reduce some skill cooldown from 10 seconds to become 6 seconds only. And next for Mystic class, they just fix some issue for Mystic skill, but I think this is not a big deal. And next for Assassin, they just buff PvE damage for Assassin. There are so much skill that they buff its damage, but for PvP damage still same, because they also increase PvP damage reduction for its skill. And also for another skill, they just fix some issue. And next for Nova class, they just reduce succession skill cooldown for some skill on Nova class. There are 3 skill that gold cooldown reduce for this Nova class balancing. And for Nova Awakening, they just increase skill damage for this 4 skill, but at the same time they also increase PvP damage reduction, but they didn't mention this PvP damage will become increased or not on this website. And next about Corsair class. Corsair class also get damage buff from some skill, but as always they also increase PvP damage reduction for this skill change. And also there are 3 skill from Corsair that got cooldown reduction. And about Drakania class, they just fix some issue for some skill, but I think this is not a big deal. So total for this class balancing, they just buff all skill for all class that got changed on this week Global Lab update. I didn't see any nerf for any class that they changed on this week Global Lab update. And sadly, I didn't find any Drakania Awakening info from this week Global Lab update. Maybe they will info it later in future. Okay, next future update about item. In future, for some event accessory costume that you get from new class release event, like this Nova Echidna earring, Sage Ace of the Wise, Corsair Ocean Plum, and Drakania Arctanum earring, they will make this accessory to become bound to your family. So if you have this item previously, you can move this accessory to another character in your family, but this accessory still only can be equipped by specific class. They just make this change. In case if you want to delete your previous character and make another one, you can move this accessory reward that you get when releasing this new class in future. And next future update, they will change this Venomous Night Fang item to become stackable in one slot, so this item will not consume your inventory slot anymore. But because they changed this item to become stackable in one slot, they also changed method to craft Ibedor Scroll to become simple alchemy 5 pieces Venomous Fang from your processing menu. And next future update about Rich Merchant Ring. In future, if you got Rich Merchant Ring piece from any source, you need to do appraisal via Sakatu NPC, and this appraisal will give you some new item looks like crystal, and this crystal icon is new icon for this Rich Merchant Ring piece that you can combine it to become Rich Merchant Ring as normal. So at least by this new icon, you can know which pieces of your Rich Merchant Ring piece that you get previously. And next more update about Narkilan gear. In future, if you change your mind to convert back your stone that you get by hitting Narkilan gear, it's mean this combatant stone, you can convert back your combatant stone to become Narkilan gear again. So if previously you accidentally hitting all your Narkilan gear to become stone, you can get it back to become Narkilan gear once again. And to convert back your Narkilan gear, you need to process 7 pieces Narkilan gear to become stone, and then give this 7 stone to Fugar NPC, and Fugar will give you some special quest to get back all your 7 parts from your Narkilan gear. And if you want to know to get Narkilan gear, you can check my previous video about Narkilan gear guide, and also previously they already update this Narkilan gear that you can convert all your Narkilan weapon to become box again and open it with another class. You can check all this related video in this video description for more detail. And also in future they will add how to get Cannon Awakening weapon. Once again, this is still related with Narkilan gear, because when you want to get Narkilan gear, you need this Cannon Awakening weapon. And as I show you on this guide, when I record this video, because I didn't have Cannon Awakening weapon, I need to create new character and do Awakening questline to get Cannon Awakening weapon to make this guide. And in future, you didn't need to create new character and do Awakening questline to get this Cannon Awakening weapon. They will add special weekly quests to get Cannon Awakening weapon at NPC Tulum at Altinova City. So if your character didn't have Cannon Awakening weapon, you can get this weekly quest from this Tulum NPC at Altinova City to get this Narkilan Awakening weapon as I guide you on this video. And next improvement for attraction content. In future, they will remove requirement that will consume 10,000 Agris Favor point if you want to finish weekly quest on this attraction content. And also they will give 100% chance to obtain item to craft key to proceed on attraction dungeon either for Valmakea and Sikrakea that you get guarantee from all special monster on each dungeon. And about removing Agris Favor point requirement when doing attraction weekly quest, so you didn't need to worry to prepare Agris Favor point anymore when doing weekly quest either for Valmakea Archaea and Psychrachea. And they also will increase probability to get special circuit. Actually, this item you can combine it to get special scroll, to get knowledge from special monster on this attraction dungeon, either Falmachea and Psychrachea. And they will buff drop rate of this item 4 times more on normal monster and 5 times more on special monster at attraction dungeon. And about monsters, especially for Orcam Serendia Elviarum, they will increase Fairy Light mechanic on this Orcam to become weakened monster on this Orcam Elviarum more longer than before. And about Calpion Elviarum, I think all these changes still not a big deal for us because this Calpion Elviarum content still not released, and they will bring this change immediately when this Calpion Elviarum release on our live server. And next about user interface, in future they will change character creation menu to become like this, but I think this is bit mess for now because they still didn't update it for English version. And another fix and change on this week Global Lab update, I think all of this not a big deal for us. Okay, that's all Global Lab update for 6 May 2022 maintenance update. And special thanks to all my membership for direct support via Patreon, Karya Karsa, and YouTube membership. And also my current member, Zekru, Dubiadut, Jimmy Snake, Doki, Renegades X, Angel, Homie, Ayrton, Killsteel, Remy, Clouty, Moonpai BDO, Jan Andres, Token R42, Kaimana, Humeri, Demonite, Cozy, Magnum Sklong, Henry, Populatus, Susu Kental Manis, as gold member, and also all my silver and bronze member. Thank you so much for all your direct support. This will make Chris Poly channel running and growing more faster. If you want to support me directly, I will very grateful. And as special thanks, I will put your name on my video, depend on your support level. And be noticed for some level there are have some limit, so make sure you didn't get run out for this limited space. And I will put your name on every subsequent video that I release for the duration of your support. And if you want to join my membership to support me directly, you can go to any platform for Patreon, Karya Karsa, and YouTube membership. I already put link for this membership on this video description, or you can check on top right of this video. I already put card for Patreon link. If you like this video, you can like and subscribe to my channel for another guide and update. Thank you for watching. See you next time.